Hey there, it's Michael Stevenson with Transform Destiny, and we are here with our two amazing NLP trainers. We have Brenda Jones.
Hi.
And Ryan Simmons.
Hello.
And one of the big questions that people always ask is, does NLP work? If I get into the field of NLP, how do I know that I'm going to be able to do something with it? And I think that probably two shining examples of that we have are these two right here. What's it been like for you guys to sort of start off on that? Like, I know, Ryan, you sort of accidentally came into this. You had somebody that sort of invited you into a training. You didn't really know what you were getting into. What was it like for you kind of going from being in that place of being a student where you're coming in and your eyes are fresh and you don't really know what's in store for you, all the way through to, earning your certificate, seeing clients and becoming a trainer?
When I first took core class, I didn't know how far I'd be able to go. Being able to see all the different levels that one could progress to really piqued my interest. Mm-hmm. As I went through it and started learning more and more about NLP with a practitioner, a master practitioner, and taking trainer's training, I was really just able to, just feel real confident and like energized for the possibilities mm-hmm. that are out there. But now, being a trainer, I now see like, wow, when I look back, just a few years ago, you see how far I've come, now it's almost as if there's so much more in the future that lies ahead just because of the skills.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
And Brenda, when you came through 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, you were pregnant at the time, going through one major life transition and then, coming in and learning NLP at the same time.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It feels like about a lifetime ago, and I guess it really was. It was my daughter's lifetime ago. Yeah. So much has happened in just that short amount of time. It's been about 5.5, almost 6 years. Mm-hmm. And I came in kind of like Ryan on accident, where I had a friend that said, hey, come to this thing. I think you'll really benefit. I think you'll really enjoy meeting Michael and the things that he has to offer. I think you could really benefit. And I kind of didn't really know what I was getting myself into. And that kind of springboarded everything that I wanted to do for myself. And when I really started this journey, it was for me. Yeah. And it was, if I can fix me, then the little one I already had and the little one that I was growing, mm-hmm. I could be a better mom for them. And it was in that journey that I was like, wow, okay, now I want to know how to use it with them. Mm-hmm. And then my friends and my family, and how can I help every other mom out there? Yeah. And how can I just kind of take this and just take it so much further mm-hmm. than just myself. So
I think that's the thing, is that, there are people that always come in for different reasons. I think it's really interesting because, I got into this field wanting to learn hypnotherapy. Mm-hmm. You got into this field wanting to learn coaching, and you came into this field wanting to learn for yourself, which is, really what we teach. Yeah. Now, Transform Destiny has become an extension of that because we have the hypnotherapy course, we have the coaching course, and we have the Create Your Life Live NLP Experience course, which all sort of bring you in for those different reasons that you might want to come in, and they all complement each other really well, which I love. There's always the question that comes up. People say, what makes you different? And I think, once people come to the course, then that's where people go, we definitely see what's different here. So for you guys as trainers, being able to facilitate and having the privilege of being in the room and watching these people learn and transform and then go out and help other people, even if it's just helping their own family with it. What's it like for you being a part of the trainings, leading the trainings, being at the helm, and then the people in the community and everything that goes on at a Transform Destiny training?
One thing that I got as a student was I believed that everyone cared about me. As a trainer in front of my students, I care about them, and I really want them to flourish and grow and get the information and be able to, embody everything that they're learning. For me, being able to see, the light bulbs go on, being able to see, the student really understand the concept, that's really when it's special.
Yeah, that's great. How about you, Brenda?
When I first came in, my friend that brought me in, there was a certain something about her, and when she just couldn't speak high enough about you, mm-hmm. and then I got to meet you, and you far even exceeded mm-hmm. what she had said, and you kind of like attracts like. Yeah. And so I think NLP allowed me to be the mom that I wanted to be, because this was an extension of my family. Yeah. Being able to take that and then now as a trainer, mm-hmm. be able to continue that. I remember sitting in CYL umpteen years ago, and I remember you talked about the ripple. Mm. And out of everything that I learned that weekend, for some reason that was something that stuck. And so when I got the opportunity to then be a part of the ripple and take everything that you had given me and take that out and take that out to all these other people, and then now watching them go out and be the ripple and be the ripple and be the ripple. And I think that, as a Transformed Destiny trainer above all, is something that this company has allowed me to do.
And I think one of the words that both of you guys used, I think, which comes up so often in our trainings, is family. You know, the people that you bond with when you're going through that transformation yourself, and they're going through the transformation with you, and there comes a point where there's a level of understanding that you get about kind of like what the world is like. You know, there's so many people out there in the world that are disempowered. They don't think that they can change their life. They don't think they can change their mind. They don't think that they can have different beliefs. They say, I can't change who I am. That's just what I believe. And they think that like a belief is written in granite. Then they come into practitioner training, and it's like, you know, that belief that they think is chiseled in stone, you just sort of crush it with one little tiny NLP technique, you know? And we realize that we're not at the whim of our beliefs or our upbringing or society and all these negative things out there, that we are actually empowered to do something about it. Now, you know, you're seeing it from the other perspective. When you were in the audience before, you know, going through it yourself, and now seeing that, all the light bulbs going on, it's just magical, isn't it?
It's absolutely magical. And that's someone who was at Disney all the time. There's something about, you can almost, in some people, you can see the wheels turning. And I've had people sitting in the chairs in front of me as I'm teaching, and it's kind of, okay, come on, it's right there, let's go. The best is the people from behind can also see the wheels starting to turn. And when you see them all of a sudden go, I get it. And then from that point forward, you don't unget that. And it's just this new step, you're this new person, and every time you learn something, you're a new version of you. And you're constantly a new and better and improved version of you.
And that's one of the things that I think, and I love that we're all on the same page about this. Even if you want to work with other people, the best possible way to change other people's lives is to change your own life first, right? That's how I got into this field. And I think, you know, when you look across the spectrum of people in NLP, there's people at varying levels of walking their talk. There are some trainers out there that don't walk their talk at all. They teach it to other people. They think it's a do-to process. And then there's the people who walk their talk. I was my own very first client, you know, very much like you guys. You know, what has personal development been to you on going through, even though you're aiming to earn certificates and get to that next level, the personal development aspect of it, what's that like for you?
It's like I'm able to see myself differently than I ever have before in my past. And it's the point to where when something's going wrong, I'm actually able to take a position that's outside of the so-called box that I'm in, and being able to create, knowing that if I want something, how to create that and make it happen, and then anything that's standing in the way, being able to use techniques to move those things out of the way.
Those techniques in your tool belt, right? It's like
absolutely.
having a full tool belt, knowing how to work on those
things. And it's one of those things where it's almost like you really have no excuse at some point. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. You can go out and help people, but then you can't walk around saying, I got a bunch of problems, right? Because you can actually solve them. So you can't, be careful what you ask for.
You're surrounded by family that will call you on it too.
Oh, and that's one of the things we teach. It's not even an NLP concept. It's been around for thousands of years, but the concept of being a cause in your life, right? Of not living at the effect of other people. Most people in the world are living the effect of the people, places, and circumstances that surround them. So they think that they don't have any control in their life. And a big part of our trainings, it's a core. We literally teach this in every single one of our trainings, is to be at cause in your life. And then the question comes up, well, how do I be at cause? And that's where the NLP tools come in.
One of the things that I like is when the students are in class and they pick up certain phrases, that's when other students are able to call each other out in class. And that's like, you know, when you're learning a language, being able to make jokes in that language is a symbol that you're starting to grasp the language. And so in class and in trainings, when the students start to integrate the information and start to play with each other, that's really like you get a really solid feeling on that. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's great. So one of the things that Brenda brought up earlier was this whole concept of the ripple, right? And the ripple is something that came to me as I was, like I said, I didn't get into this as a business. I got into this to work on myself. And then immediately when I started working on myself, I realized that I had a responsibility. Not an option. I had a responsibility to pass these things on. That was my first inkling of the ripple, which is I can't keep this to myself. What I have here is so great. This gift of being able to turn off the autopilot, grab a hold of the controls, and take my life where I want it to go, instead of letting life dictate where I go. And so that's where the whole idea of training trainers and having guys like these two people who, for me, embody NLP in such a deep way. And they're constantly working on themselves, and they're constantly, not just keeping it to themselves, but sharing it with other people is so powerful to me. And so that's where I passed the torch on to these guys. And these two teach and train our NLP certification trainings, and they're absolutely amazing at it. It's one of those things where, especially if you're a business owner, you don't even have to be a business owner. I'm a bit of a control freak, especially when it comes to my own business. And I was a little hesitant sometimes in the beginning of saying, I'm going to let somebody else teach my trainings. But when it really came down to it, these two have been phenomenal. And I love the way that they teach NLP. And I love how they've stepped up in their own lives to be that inspiration for other people. And I just want to commend you for it. I love you for it. And it's just amazing to see that ripple effect happening. Now you guys go out and you're training hundreds and thousands of people and becoming that ripple yourself. There's a lot of you just know you want to get certified. And if that's what you want, there's a path for that. It's the path that everybody knows about in NLP. Then there's the people that are like, well, I heard about this NLP thing, and people go, I know there's this thing called NLP, but I'm not really sure what it is, or if it's for me, or how to use it. And so that's one of the reasons why I created the Create Your Life Live experience, was to literally give you an experience of NLP in a way that's affordable, that's easy to attend, and that even if you don't come and get certified, it will change your life. And that was your first intro into coming into the power to create your life, and now you get to teach it.
I'm so happy. I have begged for a while now to bring Create Your Life back, because for me, I was never going to get certified. I guess you get what you focus on, so focus on what you want. And I didn't understand the nots and the don'ts at the time. Create Your Life was really that learning all those things I didn't know. And then once I knew them, I needed to know more. I needed to know, even just for myself, so that if I could fix myself, I could not mess up my kids. And that was really my ultimate goal. If I could fix me, I won't mess them up as bad. And I'll at least recognize when other people are messing them up. Yeah. Which is when I realized that, I should probably get certified so that I know how to fix them when people mess them up, especially when I mess them up, because I'm still human. Create Your Life, it was, to really just tell me about understanding what was important to me, to be able to go through life and understand where limiting beliefs came from. Those things that I learned when I was 4 that were getting in my way at 30, whatever that was. And being able to then look at my 4-year-old and take that out of being in her way at 30, whatever that's gonna be. And there were all these things that I learned along the way of how to create outcomes. And so it was taking that and being able to look at everything in my life, and then, like the title of the thing, Create Your Life. My life does not look anything like it did in any way, shape, or form. And I loved my life then, and I love it even more now. And I'm really excited to just continue loving it as I progress, as people come in with me, as I get to see the changes. And it's just it's a constant ongoing growth process, which...
Yeah, and I think the thing is, like, the whole purpose of Create Your Life is that most people are living life on autopilot, right? Yeah. Most people, I always make the joke that most people are like a pinball in a cosmic pinball machine, right? And what most people do is they live their life like a pinball. They literally bounce off of things that come into their life. They will literally let the smallest, tiniest obstacle disrupt their life, shift their life, and they go, well, I always wanted to be a professional athlete, but this thing came up and just never happened, whatever. And they have all these excuses by the end of their life. They bounce off of everything, maybe make a little noise, but by the end of it, they just go down the big black hole and the game's over, right? And that's kind of how most people live their life. The reason I created the Create Your Life experience was so that while you're there in the class, you can turn off the autopilot. That's the first key, is recognizing there's an autopilot. Recognizing the autopilot is good, right? It just has a bad destination, or really no destination. It's sort of just bouncing off of things that are coming up. So turning off the autopilot, grabbing hold of the controls, and learning how to create your life and move your life in the direction you want. And then, when you're ready, learning how to program that autopilot and turn the autopilot back on so life can be effortless. There's a whole tool belt of tools in NLP. And if when you go to certification courses, you're going to learn every single slot on your tool belt will be full when you go through certification. The Create Your Life experience was about going, okay, which of these tools is going to create a big change in people's lives that we can teach you in a couple of days and really move the needle, make the biggest impact for you. And that's what it's all about. We call it a breakthrough experience.
Yes.
And we can't divulge some of the things that happen there, but trust me, there is every single person has a breakthrough experience at the event. If you're interested in getting certified, then come and hang out with these guys at either the Hypnosis Weekend, Learn Hypnosis Live, or at the Core Success in Life Coach Certification course, or if you want to learn NLP for yourself at the Create Your Life Live experience. If you know you're ready to go out and become an NLP practitioner and a coach and a hypnotherapist and EFT and time techniques, and you want to go out and change the world and be a bigger pebble in the pond, then come to the NLP certification courses. And if you want to take your business to the next level and become a more influential person and get your message out to the world, make a big impact, then come and see me at the Influence to Profit trainings. And we would love to have you there. Love to teach you the tools to really take control of your life and make a big impact. You get one shot at this life, one. And so I think you owe it to yourself to maximize this life that you have, to learn the things that will make it a magnificent life, because I don't believe that we were put here for mediocrity. And that's really what NLP allows you to do.
Yeah.